Hell yeah. You can't imagine how long I've been putting it off. But finally, I have a reason to watch Wait, the fuck is... Hey guys, Thomas here. And I know that Recreators doesn't exactly fit the theme of Isekai month, but if you really think about it, it's a reverse Isekai. Get it? Why do so many shows have a re in their title? Re! The story itself is pretty cool. It takes place in Japan, where characters from different anime, manga, and video games start popping up. And it all happens around our protagonist, who is an introverted nerd. I guess a charming main character would take too much away from the insane roster that they have, so that's good. It really does handle a ton of characters well, which is usually one of the hardest things a short-running show can do. It accomplishes that by not only drip-feeding us the characters, but also providing us with only the necessary information. So not all of them get the same amount of screen time or backstory. Like Celestia, who shows up first, gets much more viewer time than some old dude who showed up later. But the magical thing is that he doesn't need it either. All characters are from existing stories and they rely on the viewer's memory to put the pieces together on their own. So, since we most likely know some edgy stories about a disheveled cop fighting against the world, we already know his personality and aspirations. It understands that you don't need to tell an origin story every single time. Most of them are even based on shows that really exist. Like the knight is similar to Saber, the main girl is from Sword Art Online, and that girl is from a cultured show. The story starts off with Sota being a loner in his room while an Asuna ripoff traverses worlds. He now becomes a real-world guide to her. We also get introduced to the antagonist, who looks like a grown-up version of Tanya Degorchav. Thus, two parties form, the good and the evil. As time goes on, Sota's party slowly starts to acquire more members and... Hold up! Is this a harem? Nope. It's a well-balanced anime with the required amount of tropes and plot points. While it begins with the promise of being a harem, it's very platonic and never hints at any kind of romance between the main characters. What's more is that they even have very limited amounts of ecchi and fan service, aside from one episode where they do go to the bathhouse, which was really awkward to watch in public, but it never did anything similar again. And don't worry, afterwards I thoroughly appreciated that scene when I was home alone. Wink, wink. Either way, the story doesn't even get that convoluted. Our heroes show up and try to fight the godlike DeviantArt character, whose purpose is to destroy the world, because her creator was treated badly and got wasted, but didn't respawn. Don't you hate when that happens? But not all the characters who are summoned join the hero's side, some of them join the villain's side, because she promises them that their war-ridden worlds can be fixed and get better, since now they're in the realm of gods and she can make their creators change their world for the better. It even leads to some fun and interesting scenes where they learn more about their own story or even discover major plot points through their creator who hasn't published some of the stuff yet. In one of the episodes, the character even plays with herself in a non-sexual way, which I just can't imagine how meta that is. It would be like if all of this was recorded and uploaded somewhere, even though I'm not even recording anything and I'm just talking to myself. It honestly explores so many cool ideas with its concept. Since the characters still retain their powers from the previous worlds, they can do a lot of damage, and no amount of flex tape can fix that.
What?
So you think that the government has to get involved, and it does! They go to secret meetings, discuss plans about how to take the evil down, and it pretty much results in making what is the equivalent of Avengers, but it's government funded, and even a much bigger crossover. And since the powers of the characters come from the viewer's belief in them, the original creators also have the ability to write in new stuff. Come on, internet, do your thing. And I really enjoyed the story, up to around episode 19 or so. That's when most of the plot just went into limbo. No more backstory, no new characters, no interesting new ideas. Just fighting a boring and trope-filled battle against Altair. Even the ending is bad, not because they succeed with their mission, but because it leaves a ton of unanswered questions. One of the major one being, spoilers, that everybody goes home after the fight, except the worst villain, who's an actual serial killer who everybody conveniently forgets and lets roam around the world freely. And that girl even had one of the strongest powers out of all of them, by being able to make lies into reality. Literally, something from nothing. It's a much better show than I anticipated from a show called Recreators. It managed to blend a ton of characters with an interesting story, but fails at a satisfying ending, and sprinkles on some plot holes. It's a 7 out of 10. Kind of a good break from the normal Isekai crap that I've gotten this month. And also, if their logic would apply to ours, then Boku no Pico would be a freaking god. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Recreators. Subscribe for more content, for more Isekais that are coming out. If you have seen Recreators, what did you think of it? Did you like it? And I'll see you in a couple of days with another one of these. Cut.